Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Europe for round number 11, coming to you from the beautiful Azerbaijan to the Baku City Circuit in all of its glory here in the Middle East for the 11th round of the championship. And yeah, we're going to be looking forward to getting into this Grand Prix, all 20 turns, of course, of the Baku City Circuit. I did realize that I was talking to absolutely nobody just a little while ago. Oh, I'm not in spectator mode. There we go. And yeah. So getting ready to load in here for Division 4. 8 minutes past our usual starting time. I believe D2 is already underway. We can take a quick look just for the time being as we get ready to go. Division 2, audio is not on. Yes, they are into qualifying already in Division 2 with, of course, J. Cole and QVR Verstappen at the helm. I just realized I haven't even introduced myself. Hello, everybody. Your usual Division 4 commentator, QVR Packer. My co-com, Alt Maverick, is not here once again, but we will look forward to having a co-commentator next week when we head to Belgium. So I'll have to endure. Okay. I'll have to endure Azerbaijan alone this week. So I guess we'll see how this is going to go. As people were readying up. Not sure why we have unreadied. But I believe I believe Energetics is not in the lobby. Oh my goodness, June. Yeah, I believe Energetics is not in the lobby, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm in spectate mode. But so I don't know if we'll have game audio tonight because for whatever reason my audio settings is not allowing me to have game audio. So oh, there we go. We have game audio, I think. Yep, we have game audio. Perfect, 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 perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. Just waiting for everybody to ready up and we can get into the lobby. So, yeah, we're going to be loading in here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Round 11, as we've already mentioned. T-Brum winning 3 races on the bounce here in Division 4. Let's actually just pull up the standings real quick as the Alfa Romeos in Division 2 are doing slipstream. So yeah, T-Brum has won the last 2 races, or the last 3 races, 2 of them being sprint weekends, or one of them being sprint weekend in round 8 in France, and the other 2 being normal weekends in Australia and Hungary, of course. But he very much extended his championship lead, did T-Brum last week, with his main championship rival and the guy who's in second place in this championship not picking up any points. Finished the race, no points for him, however. And T-Brum picked up a solid win with fastest lap in Hungary. I believe he won by over 20 seconds in that rain period, so congratulations to him. As Energetics has indeed joined, and it looks like it is going to be dry in qualifying, which is just exactly what you love to see. Won't make anything go too much faster, because, you know, only a time session. So now that we do know it is dry, yeah, now that we do know that it is going to be dry, we can set the tone for the Grand Prix. So here in qualifying should be three runs to an absolute maximum for every driver. If you decide to use all 3, as Jess is going to be the first run out, I'm actually going to change my audio settings because I'm going to get completely drowned out. If I could just... There we go. Alright. I have finally changed these as well, so my camera settings, so people can actually see things. Let's take a beautiful look as we ride on board with Jess Gamer on the special liveried Ferrari, of course the livery that they used in Monza for the 2022 season this year. It's quite nice. Oh, Jess. That's a curb that you don't really want to be taking. But it is quite nice. I like the yellow. I think the yellow number on the front was a little bit much, but I like the yellow on the very small shark fin that the cars are now allowed in the 2022 season with the new regulations. But yeah, I think it's nice. The yellow and the black and the red kind of go well together. But let's pop these back up so we can actually see some things. So, did I say Jess? I meant Jamie, Matt. Sorry, Jamie. Or Jess, or whoever. But, yeah, let's ride on board now with this first lap. So, this is the last braking zone on the circuit, which is turn 16. As you go to the right-hander, which is not a numbered quarter, and then through 18 and 19, that left-right chicane. Should be flat out in qualifying, should be flat out in the race. Someone's going to take a little picky look. Of course, and then just went through turn 20 there, that little right kink. Open up the DRS, the first of 2 DRS zones. As we break into turn 1, you'd want to get a little close to the apex, and on the exit there, invalidate and also hits the wall. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of that into turn 1. Ben Scott now. With the Alpha Tower serving a race ban last week into turn 1. You want to try to avoid the curb, but also carry as much speed as possible through the corner there at turn 1. Now breaking into turn 2. This could be a very crucial corner with quite a long straight from a pretty slow corner. Coming up with DRS activated, of course, you want to go through the middle, take the shortest line possible, but stay on the right-hand side as we head into turn 3. Use all the track you can on the right-hand side. Turn in for the left-hander, second gear to get the rotation. Look pretty nice. Now into turn 4. You would want to brake typically a little bit early and then carry the speed through the apex of the corner and out through the exit, because it's very difficult to get the car out of corners here in Azerbaijan with a very low track grip. Through 5 and 6, which is pretty decent. You would typically want to avoid that big sausage curb on the right-hand side, but now into 7, you can cut this quite a bit. That'll be valid there for Ben Scott, but you want to try and cut that corner as much as possible. Jamie Matt is off into the barrier, but not through the castle section of 8, 9, 10, and 11. That right-hander, and then flick it back through 12, and then you want to try and get the best run possible with your ERS out, of course, through these triple left-hander of 13. Bring it back to the right. 14, stay in the middle of the circuit, and then into 15, you stay in the middle of the circuit because that wall closes up on the right. Try to avoid the curb, but he carried decent speed there through 15, and now into 16 and 17, the last braking zone, of course, down to 3rd gear. You want to short shift 4th as you exit onto this back straight that's not so straight through 17, 18, 19 keeps it flat as we hit 190 miles an hour. You're going to be running super low wings. You're going to see people up towards 210, 215 range, depending on the wings. If they're running up to 210 with the DRS activated, you want to stay to the left-hand side at the end of qualifying. But a 41.0, I think is going to be pretty decent there for Ben Scott. Let's see what some of the other times are going to look like. T-Brum 39.9, and that's really what we kind of expected from our championship leader. Saronjay 40.6. Puts himself in P2. There's McLaren. That'll be Damon at 41.9. The other McLaren, of course, of Connor O'Keefe as well. A 43.3. So that'll be a mistake on his lap, I do believe. However, you can have quite big gaps in the field here at Baku. Jess to the line, 44.0. There's a Red Bull. Is that energetic? So it's going to be Harry Noir. Harry Noir goes up to 6. Jay Hings up to 4th as well. There will be an Aston Martin. I think that'll be Marcy. Marcy to the line. D-rating as he hits the line. Just turning off his DRS. A 54.8. So not the fastest times. Serial Killer is on an out lap. Jordan, I think, just started his. He'll be going through turn 1. Swip is heading into the pit lane without completing a lap. Ecos Mats, Esteban has already crashed. I'm not really too sure how. Ooh, that Aston Martin needs to, I was going to say, needs to get out of the way. That'll be Serial Killer, but Ecos Mats is on an out lap as well. So, I see someone off there. Down in the first sector. Let's ride on board with Evil Dragon for the rest of this lap. Heading through turn 15. Looks pretty decent for the Alpine. Got a little bit too much curb than I would like personally, but that's just me. Through 16 and now through 17, 18, and 19 with absolutely no ERS. I think he must have forgot to turn his ERS off on his outlap. But that's just for me to speculate that AlphaTauri almost getting absolutely destroyed by the Alpine. But Evil Dragon is going to be losing a load of time in this final sector with him derating. But he still goes on to a 42.6. I think he'll probably be good enough for a top 5 if he continues this way. Anyone else on a lap? I know Serial Killer's on a lap. He's just heading to the first sector with Ecos Mats in tow. Jordan is heading into the final sector now across the middle sector split line where it's going to be a 16.414. Purple middle sector for the Mercedes drive. Let's see what he can do through 17, 18, 19. There's not really much time to gain. You just kind of have to take the line of least resistance. There's a Haas. So Jordan will get a little tiny slipstream from that car there, but he won't gain too much overall. Still our first 3 lap times of the day are the fastest 3 lap times of the day so far. Jordan JT, as I say that, goes up into P3 on a 40.989. That's a good lap there for the Mercedes. Let's see what the rest of the field are doing. I think Serial Killer is going to be the next one, but I think he just had a little contact with the wall. However, it does look like he's going faster than Ecos Mats. Let's see if we can see any damage on the Aston Martin. No, I don't see anything. End plate related anyways. Well, that Aston Martin's still structurally stable because now it's just going down the straight line, going in a straight line. If you're right, it's high enough, which you'll want it to be, so you don't bottom out on the circuit. Serial Killer goes up to 6th. Ecos Mat goes up to 10th. So I was correct in saying that Ecos Mat is going quite significantly slower than the Aston Martin. Anyone else now? Harry Noir has run out of fuel in the middle sector. Jordan is just on an in-lap, I do believe, but we do have quite a few people on track now. We have Jamie Metz, Swift, iConnects, and Ben Scott all on outlaps. Marcy's out on track. He's heading to the pit lane, though, as well as Ecos Matt and Serial Killer, as Matt's just getting out of the way of an AlphaTauri. That'll be Ben Scott on an outlap. Jordan, JT, and Harry Noir as well, also out on track, but here we go. iConnect and Swip both starting. Both of them get to set lap times here in this race. McLaren just coming out of the pit lane there. Ooh, that Haas! Who was that? It wasn't iConnect, it was Poldy Bulls. So Swip getting a little bit spooked, and he has backed off of his lap, which I think is respectable, as he met just went straight at turn 1. So that's not too good for him either. Also, T-Brum is out on track. Serial Killer still on that out lap. Here, in lap. So I think the only one is going to be iConnect. So let's watch on board. Ooh! Yeah, that's going to be something that you're going to see a lot this evening, I do believe. Out of turn 7, going into the castle section, if your tires are overheated, or if you just make a little mistake on traction, you can see those running up the gears to 3rd, to 4th, to 5th. Even then, the traction still is quite difficult out of that corner, out of turn 7. They're braking here into turn 16, turn 15, excuse me. That's pretty decent. I'd be surprised if he got away with damage. It wasn't quite hefty hits on the wall, as Jamie met his crash out as well, so not what you want to see. But I connect purple through the middle sector, looking pretty decent. Is he going to be able to challenge T-Brum? I would assume not, but you never really know with Division 4 here. But I'd imagine he'd be near the top 5, maybe top 10 if I had to stretch it. But I connect moving over the right-hand side, and he's found himself up into P9, 6/10 clear. Damon 300th behind Jay Haynes as he gets very close to the wall and then drives into the wall by himself. Well, let's ride on board with T-Brum, because T-Brum has really been the class of the field here in Division 4. He's on pole by 7/10 of a second already. Heading through turn 1, looked pretty decent, using all the road that he needed and not too much more. A little bit too much curb on the inside of turn 2 there for CPI T-Brum 77 in the Mercedes. He does have that Haas in front of him, which might just get in the way, might just distract him. Heading through turn 3, you can use all the curb that you want there, because it just can't pass the ground. Into turn 4, you want to avoid the inside curb, which he does. You want to try to avoid that exit curb, because it will unsettle the car on traction. But now into turn 5 and 6, looks pretty decent. Could get a little closer to the wall there on the left-hand side, and has a little bit of a mistake out of 6. Is he going to keep on going? It was purple in the first sector. I don't know if he's continuing going. I believe he turned off to the ERS, yeah. So that is a mistake there from T-Brum. Ben Scott is up by 4/10 of a second through the middle sector. Let's see what Ben Scott is going to be able to do in his Alpha Tauri. On a 41-0 at the moment, so if he finds a little bit of time in the final sector, there's not too much to find usually, because it's only that one braking zone and then just flat-out corners. He could be up onto the front rail. The Alpha Tauri, though, improves 3/10, loses a little bit, but does find himself 1,000th in front of the Alpine of Saronje. So a good lap there for Ben Scott, but Saronje is on a lap right now. He's heading through the middle sector, and Saronje was up a few hundredths of a second. Jordan JT just starting his next flying lap. Jay Haynes and Poldy Pulls on lap as well. Let's watch on board with Poldy Pulls. His teammate not deciding to give him slipstream, but Poldy Pulls to the line. P7 to what? What is it going to be? P7 to P4, 100 or 200s in front of Jordan, and I think that was a decent lap for him. Who just jumped up there? Was that Ben Scott? No, it was Connor O'Keefe, our second man in the championship. Haven't seen too much from him tonight, but he's up to 4th now, and only 200ths of a second in front of Poldy Pulls, so it's starting to get close there. Up at the front behind T-Brum, Jess Game to the line. She was up by a second. Finds 8.5 of a second and puts herself up into P14. There's a Williams now. Is that going to be Ibo? Ibo to the line. I don't think he's improving. No, losing time. But now let's see. Jay Haynes currently P9. He's going to be going to the pit lane. There's, I believe, a Williams behind him. Evil Dragon has gone straight on at turn 15. We've seen that many times in real life. Swift is coming through the first sector. T-Brum decided to hit. Ben Scott will be on an in-lap. Jordan and Harry Noir both on laps. Harry Noir got up a second in the first sector, so he's looking pretty good already. Jordan through the middle sector split. How much is he going to be up? He's not up. He's down, actually. So Jordan doesn't look like he's going to be finding any time. Serial Killer is on a lap. He's going to be the next one across the line, actually, on a flyer. Didn't have a DRS, and I think he might just be starting a lap. Yep, that'll be him starting a lap. So let's ride on board with Jordan then, because he's backing off. So, alright, so let's ride on board with Harry Noir. Now, only up a 1/10 of a second in Harry Noir. I thought I knew that being up by a second is a little bit too much to believe, especially since it's 7. But I guess we'll just see what it is. Through the middle sector split, yellow flag just in front of him. The cars have come below racing speed. 3.5 here for Harry Noir, so he could find himself up into the top 3. Let's see what it's going to be. That McLaren is getting out of the way there. That might have been Connor O'Keefe or VE Damon. I believe it would be Connor O'Keefe because VE Damon on an out lap. Looking to start 1-2 and slow down to get out of the way of the Red Bull. But Harry Noir to the line. 14.4. That's a pretty decent lap, and it puts him up into P2. That's a good lap for him. Connor O'Keefe to the pit lane. Serial killer, making mistakes off of turn 12, and he will back off. He costs Mats out of turn 12 now as well. Doesn't make the same mistake, but it didn't look quite as punchy out of turn 12 there. Let's see, into turn 15. Yeah, Ecos Matt's up by a whole second here, so if he carries his momentum through his purple middle sector there, through turn 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 now, he could be on for a pretty decent lap. Could put him into the top 8 from 12, so a good 4 or 5 positions gained if he doesn't mess it up in a straight line here. And he doesn't. He finds 1.1 seconds and actually puts himself up into 7th. Finds 6 thousandths on Jordan's fastest lap. But now, we only have 3 minutes left here in qualifying, and I will begin to look for people on flying laps. I think Jordan is on an out lap. Nobody on a flyer besides Damon right now. Damon heading through the first sector. Using that not using that ERS actually, he's on an out lap as well. So, yeah, people on out laps. I connect heading down towards turn 3. Jay Hings is just heading through turn 7. Jordan JT heading through turn 7 now. Holdy Poles is going down to turn 3 as well as Connor O'Keefe just exited the pit lane. CPI T-Brum just headed through turn 6 as well. Energetics out of the pit lane. Marcy just out of the pit lane. So we'll look for the first person on a lap, or to start a lap, and it's going to be Jay Hings. Ooh, as Perry Ward has retired, is that in the pit lane? I believe it is in the pit lane. Yeah, he had nowhere near enough time to improve on his lap time, so only 2 runs for Harry Nawar, but a 40.4 is not easily beatable by most of those grids, so he should stay near the top 5, maybe the top 10. So let's ride on board with Jamie, because he's going to be the first one to complete a lap here in Azerbaijan. There's a McLaren behind him, I think it'll be Damon is going to be the next one who actually comes in the pit lane, so never mind. It's going to be a Mercedes, and I think it's going to be T-Brum. So, Jay Hings through turn 2. Looks pretty decent, snappy on the turn in. And yeah, they're snappy on the turn in there, so looking pretty good. Why can't I'll just wait for T-Brum. As heading through turn 3, looks pretty decent for the Alpha Tower driver. Can't quite see the timer, how much is left for people across the line. A minute 14, there you go, as the yellow flags will disappear. In turn 5, well clear of the curb. That's not where you want to be there on the left-hander. That's where you want to be on the right-hander, but not the left-hander, where you want to be carrying the speed and bringing it all the way over to the left-hand side through turn 7. Looks pretty decent. Uses all the curb that he could. There's a crash in behind somewhere. Not sure where. This is Jay Hings heading up through the castle section through turn 11 and through turn 12. Damon will retire in the pit lane because he had no more time to complete any more laps. Jay Hings now through 13, 14, and 15. Now down towards turn 16. Will he avoid the wall on the right? Will he avoid this wall on the right? Yes, he will. Gets all over the curve. That's where you want to be. On the exit, straight down into the braking zone of turn 16. Avoids the curb on the inside. That's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking for mid-40. Could he possibly beat Harry Nawar on this lap? Let's quick check in with T-Brum as we have another retiree in Ecos Mats. CPI T-Brum only up 0.2 of a second. That's not what he would have liked to see. Jay Hings, though, opening up DRS to the line. Could he put himself onto the front row of the grid? Could the Alpha Tower driver, his teammate just crossing the line to start a lap, I believe. And Jay Hings, a 40.5, not good enough. Only good enough for P2. Ben Scott starting his lap. I think the Aston Martin behind him just started as well. That would be Serial Killer. They would have been pushing to the line. But now it's going to be T-Brum, a championship leader, up 0.3 of a second through the middle sector split. Jordan comes in the pits, and CPI T-Brum, a 39.7. There for him, so at least 0.7 clear up at the front of the field for him. I connect to the line. He finds P10 in 0.3 of a second as well to go along with it. Holdy Poles is up by 0.7. Could he put himself onto the front row and close that gap to T-Brum at the front? Yes, he does. It's a 40.3. Lost a little in the final sector, though, so not the greatest of exits there. Marcy to the line, finds 12 seconds, puts himself P14. There's McLaren, that'll be Connor O'Keefe. He finds 2 places as well, onto a 40.6. Now, the next driver to challenge, Jay Hings is finished, so Ben Scott is heading through the middle sector. Ooh, almost getting very close to hitting a wall there. Saron J is just heading through the middle sector. He's just out of turn 16. Serial Killer's made a mistake on his lap. Swift goes up to P12 and into the point-paying positions if we were in the race, but Evil Dragon swiftly replaces them after finding a second on his qualifying lap. He will start P12 as it stands right now. Energetics is not going to be able to complete a lap. Ibo is not up on his time, so who's going to be next? I think it's going to be... I have no idea who it's going to be, actually. Saronje puts himself up into P3 with a 1/10 of a second improvement. That's pretty decent for him. He's on a 40.4. He'll be starting on the second row of the grid because I don't think anyone else will be able to best him there. Ben Scott, though, after that race ban last week, he's been looking pretty strong here in qualifying. Serial Killer does not improve on his time. So I think that is going to be it for qualifying here. Ibram, what a shock. On pole position again by a good half a second over the rest of the field. Ben Scott, though, putting in a strong performance. He'll be in P2 for Alpha Tower. Then Polypole's in P3. Saronje starts P4 for Alpine. Hair Noir 5th. J-Hing 6th. Connor P7th. Ecosmats 8th. And then Jordan IRT connects. I will split the 5th row. Serial Killer, Evil Dragon 11th and 12th. And then Swip, Damon, Marcy, Jets, Ibo, Energetics, who was set one lap time, which was a 246.254, 245. And then Esteban and Jamie Met both retired early on in qualifying. They will share the final row in qualifying as Jamie is into the pit lane. So, yeah, looking like it looks like as of right now, just through qualifying, that T-Brum is on for another strong result. As long as he keeps it out of the wall, I think he'll win this race. However, on pole by another half a second once again here in Division 4. Ben Scott on the front row alongside him. He'll be on the inside line when it comes to race time. So, looking strong for him. However, that is not the racing line. Polypole, Saronje, Hair Noir, J-Hings, Connor O'Keefe, Matt, Jordan, Iconex are the top 10, followed by Serial Killer, Evil Dragon, Swip, Damon, Marcy, Jess, Ibo, Energetics, and then Esteban and Jamie Met, who will start 19th and 20th. Now we get to look forward to a race. Not the shortest of races, not the longest of races. Only 26 laps, so very similar to length in terms of laps with Belgium. But we shall see how these 26 laps will proceed. For these Division 4 drivers, we'll just be loading into the race. People will be getting ready out on track, and we'll just wait for them to decide their strategies, make any setup changes that they would like to make under the rules and regulations. Of course, being the rules and regulations being only being able to change your front wing. You can change both on throttle and off throttle diff, and then of course. Brake bias and your tire pressures for the race. However, I don't think many people will be changing them besides to up them, which would give them more tire temperature and less tire wear. But we shall see what people start on. I imagine people midfield towards the back of the field will start on the will start on the softs and the hards, and people up towards the front, which is the preferred strategy. Obviously, will start on the medium compounded tires, but we'll wait and see what happens. And I think I see mediums for the front too, or hards, either way. Hards? No, mediums. Mediums for the top 6. T-Brum, Ben Scott, Polypole, Saronje, Hair Noir, J-Hings on mediums. Connor O'Keefe in 7th on hards. That's interesting. Those hards are going to be very difficult to warm up here on the formation lap. Matt, Jordan, IRT connects, Serial Killer, Evil Dragon on mediums, Swip on softs. 1 and 2 drivers on softs, and then Damon, Marcy, medium hard. Respectively, then Jess on the softs, which I think is smart for her, and then Ibo, Energetics, Esteban, mediums, and Jamie Matt on hard. So let's talk strategy for this Grand Prix. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Medium hard or hard medium, or if you want to risk it a little bit, it's a soft hard for this race. So mediums will go roughly around lap 8 to 10. As I think the stream is lagging. Yep, that's beautiful. I am completely sorry if the stream does crash. My internet is apparently horrible recently. So yeah, the medium should last around lap 8 to lap 10. The hards will, I'm not really sure how long the hards will go, but enough for the mediums to do 10 to 12 laps probably at the end of the race, so they should go around lap 14. But you can do roughly 20 laps on them. And then for the softs, the absolute earliest that you can pit, just to make it on tire wear between the softs and the hards, is roughly around lap 6. Because the hards can only go 20, maybe 22, 21, 22, if you're lucky, and very good on tires. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to get those hard tires to the end, and they're going to have absolutely no grip at all. But pretty speedy formation lap there from T-Brum and Ben Scott. As they are just warming up their tires, going at any pace they would like, really. And we'll just wait for them to form up on the grid, as we do have an Alpine that is spun to the back of the field. That is Evil Dragon. I wonder what happened to him. Maybe just getting a little extra time to warm up his medium compound tires. But yeah, I guess we'll see T-Brum and Ben Scott slow down to a crawl here up at the front, trying to get their tires in check temperature wise for this race start. They will have been practicing this for the entire week. As people line up into the grids, I'm seeing most people going straight. Harry Noir facing to the inside line as he is on the outside. Evil Dragon will slot into his space, and he goes way over. But I see that. Besides that, I see most people heading straight on. But as we get ready to go here in Azerbaijan, we have 5 lights, and lights out, and away we go. Evil Dragon compounding his problems already. Moved way too far into his grid spot, but now is going to have a drive-through penalty. But CPI T-Brum on his medium tires as well for the rest of the top 6 moves in and stays in the lead here going through turn 1 and 2. Ben Scott, Poldy Pulse, Harry Noir, Jay Hing, Saronjay all follow. Saronjay getting very close to the back of the Alpha Tower in front of him. Connor O'Keefe surprisingly keeping his position in 7th on those hard tires, but the rest of the hard and soft runners fall down to the back of the field. Evil Dragon on Energetics. Ooh, Energetics squeezing him into the wall, and the Alpine makes contact with the wall. Energetics now diving it down the inside. They go side by side. Oh, and Energetics, or not Energetics, Evil Dragon is into the wall, and I think Esteban has collected him as well. He might have picked up front wing damage. He has. So the Alpine is going to be holding up everybody below 15th. Esteban will make his way through, but he's going to have to pit for our front wing, I do believe. Anyone else? Jay Hing's just glitching a little bit, I think, but he is in 5th place. He's dropping to the top 4, however. Harry Noir, Poldy Pools, Ben Scott, T-Brum are the top 4. T-Brum trying to do his usual thing and pull away right at the front of the race, or right at the beginning of the race, as everybody gets used to the conditions of the tires and the state of the track. Connor O'Keefe in 7th, though, on his hard tires, and I think he's going to be safe because Saronjay Jay Hing, they don't look too quick. IRT connects, though, on his diffuse of Damon a little bit further back, followed by Jordan, Serial Killer, Matt, Energetics, and Marcy. Esteban has damage. Evil Dragon has damage almost into the wall. Actually looks pretty decent there. Jamie Matt, I think, might have just swiped the wall with Swift right behind him, and Jess Gamer, and then Ibo in P20. So the soft runners not getting off to a good start, but someone who is T-Brum, once again, getting off to a very good race start here in Azerbaijan. He's up into the lead. 1.2 seconds is his lead up at the front. However, he's used 10% more ERS than Ben Scott on his opening lap, a 47.309 to open up proceedings here in Azerbaijan. Poldy Pulse falling. He's within DRS range as Evil Dragon has crashed into the pit lane. That's not what you want to see. Oh, that is not good. It's going to be a virtual safety car as well. But, yes, we have two people into the pits, being Esteban and Swift. Esteban will go on to a set of hards, and Swift onto a set of hards as well. So both drivers on the hards from their mediums and from their softs. As it's just a virtual safety car, and we are racing once again here in Azerbaijan. So drivers get a little bit of a slight chance to calm down a little bit as we get into proceedings here, and we'll fall into the rhythm of this race. So T-Brum leads, followed by Ben Scott pulley pulls, the top two not being within DRS of the guy in front or the guy behind. Harry Noir being the first one to break that trend, but however, he's getting dropped from DRS very, very quickly as Harry Noir, outside of a second for the time being, he uses a little ERS to try and close up to the Haas in front. Pulley pulls has ERS, but he's not using it. Saronje 2 seconds behind Harry Noirgas is almost into the wall, and J Hank will be just behind him. Damon, I think, is just out of DRS range as he's towing Connects, or I Connects, Jordan, Matt, Serial Killer, Energetic. Well, Energetic's not so much as he's out of DRS range. But they won't even have DRS on this lap. But how about on the next lap, going down towards turn 3, excuse me. But it's not going to be of too much use if you don't have it in the first place. So, as you can see there, up at the top of the screen, DRS is now enabled. Ben Scott following 1.4 seconds, Pulley Pull 1.8 seconds behind, and Harry Noir is going to be the one. It's going to be the highest up aggressor, I'd imagine, out of the top 4. Being only 0.6 of a second behind, Saronji 2.2 behind them, and then J Hanks a second back, followed by Damon another second back, and iConnect is going to be the second highest person to have at DRS in this race. Harry Noir closing up the Pulley Pulls, iConnect closing up to Damon. Jordan has DRS as well, just barely snagged it. Matt was unlucky not to as well. Serial Killer, Energetics, and Marcy is Connor O'Keefe, Jamie, Matt, Jess, Ibbo, Swift, Esteban. Esteban will have DRS going up for territory, but besides that, no one has DRS. iConnect has made the move on Damon. I'm not entirely sure how he caught up so quick, but maybe Damon just running very low wings. He's in P8 right now after being overtaken. He uses not enough curve there. Does Damon. iConnects up to 7th position, and he didn't look too much quicker than Damon, but it looks like Damon is really struggling for pace in this race. He's 1.7 seconds behind J Hanks. Now is iConnect, so he'll have another task to do. Try and pull this off. As Harry Noir makes a mistake, uses DRS, tries to get back within DRS range of the top 3. And it's going to... And he's going to fail at that task. He uses DRS. Pulley Pulls doesn't even have to. And Harry Noir is going to be not within the DRS range of the Haas driver. If he can maybe put together a nice turn 1 to be able to, as team fast lap of the race, 144.106 as he pulls clear of Ben Scott, both of them using their ERS to moderate amounts to try and close up or pull away as much as possible. Marcy and Energetic swap positions as the Aston Martin is up into P12 and into the points paying positions. Energetic's looking like he's struggling already in this race. What is next on the chopping block, as that was a lockup, maybe? Maybe might have a different game, but iConnect's is giving Damon a few problems here. The first one is that if iConnect keeps up this pace, he'll be within DRS to J Hanks. And also, if he keeps up this pace, Damon will be out of DRS range. So, if iConnect can throw together a pretty decent castle section here, Damon makes even one mistake, I think iConnect could just be clear of DRS range. What is it going to be? Actually, he finds a little bit of time there through turn 7. There's a little shade of light throwing my eyes off there. But I think Damon actually has the castle selection kind of hooked up here. Just not the exit there. As Connor O'Keefe and Energetic. Energetic has gone straight on at turn 8 into the castle section. And he is doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus however many point turn. Sorry, 14. As we have now swapped for positions. Marcy has spun someone. No, not spun. Jordan and Damon. No, not Jordan and Damon. J Hanks and Damon. Swap blazes. There we go, finally. Or wait, no. No. J Hanks and I can. Oh my gosh. I not getting my eyes over my brain today. It seems. But yeah, iConnect snagged DRS on that last lap and made the pass into turn 1 as Ecos Mats and Jordan swapping positions. Jordan on the outside, Ecos Mats on the inside has the dominant line. Connor O'Keefe has spun. on his hard tires. He was the highest up hard starter in this race, but now he's going to be dropping down to the back of the field and outside of the points for Connor O'Keefe. Hopefully he won't retire in the pits because safety cars do always seem to come here in Azerbaijan. They kind of do invite them. I think Ben Scott must have made a mistake or has damage. Doesn't look like he has damage on his front wing. But Poldy Poles only a half second back. Oh, and as I say that, Poldy Poles is now much further than a half second back as Iconex has spun as well. The two Hasses coming. Well, why is everyone so blurry? I'm not really sure. That'll be my internet probably. But as more people have spun, so Poldy Poles has had a spin. Iconex has had a spin, as we also have side-by-side action between Matt and Jordan. That's not a corner that you normally see overtaking at, but Matt's able to pull it off, and now Jordan is going to have DRS. I mean, everything looks fine on my side. Kevin, right? Yeah, Kevin. Everything looks good on my side, so I'm not sure what you're seeing, but yeah, Jordan getting the DRS. But unable to do anything with it. Jay Hings also had a spin as well as Iconex. Iconex picked up damage, and Iconex spun out of turn 12. So that's more putters hitting a little bit early for the Hearts, but I don't think it'll matter to them as that was a person in the wall. Does he have an end plate? He doesn't have an end plate. All right, but now. As people are beginning to pit for, it's just the people with damage. Yeah. Okay, Jordan versus Matt. Part 3 or 4. And the Mercedes passed the Alfa Romeo there in turn 3. That looked like, or maybe 4 or 5. But now Jordan will be clearing away for the time being until Matt gets DRS and closes them up and overtakes him once again. Any other moves out on track with Serial Killer close to the back of Matt. If Iconex on the back of Swip, Iconex will be on cold tires, as you can see right there, almost spinning out of turn 3. Swip on fresh, but, or not necessarily fresh, but warmed up hard tires. Pulling away from Iconex. But you can see the type of pace that Iconex has, just being able to close up to the back of the Williams there, even with the cold tires. Jess Gamer still out on her soft compound tires in P11, done 5 laps on them so far. Any other type of battles? Ben Scott still 4.6 seconds behind CPI T-Brum, who's been absolutely lighting up the lap time sheets. Harry Noir unable to do anything about T-Brum being just a little bit too far ahead to make an overtake. He costs Matt to Jordan JT. Jordan is derating down towards turn 1. Is he going to dive? And the Alfa Romeo comes up the inside with the DRS advantage. The Mercedes on the outside out of turn 1. He comes Matt to move over to the left-hand side just to give the Mercedes a little bit of space. They're equal into turn 2. How is Jordan going to react? He's going to have to back out in Matt. Will get the DRS down towards turn 3. So Jordan is not going to be able to attack him, and he has no ERS. So that's double whammy there for the Mercedes driver. We have an overtake between Iconex and Swip. Swip looks pretty quick on the straight, but Iconex has the DRS now. He was side by side just before. And Iconex will move up into P14. The Swip will just back off for the time being. I think Energetics had a little bit of a spin, as you can see there, locking up through that corner. Not sure how you do that, as he lets T-Brum through. Smart and fair play from the Dutch driver. My internet begins to act up once again. Ben Scott still leading the train 4P2 with Harry Noir and Saronje in tow. Poldy Poles 5.6 seconds behind this. And then Damon 2 seconds behind them. And then Ecos Matt's 4.1 behind Damon. Jordan, Serial Killer within DRS range. Serial Killer's into the wall. And I'd imagine he would have picked up front wing damage from that, but nothing too significant for the Aston Martin there. So let's ride aboard with Saronje and Harry Noir. Harry Noir with no ERS. Saronje, not much to his name either. Ben Scott is going to be in the pit lane, so now it's going to be an all-out brawl between Saronje and Harry Noir. Both of them on the mediums. As Energetics has retired. I think it's probably. As Ben Scott is in, so he'll drop down the field, but he's going to be on to the hard compound tires. And imagine, yep, there you go, fresh hard for the AlphaTauri, but now it's going to be between Saronje and Harry Noir battling it out for second place. They can't lose too much time, otherwise Ben Scott will be clear and into free air as soon as he's onto those hard tires. They don't take long to warm up, but they won't get very warm either. Saronje, Harry Noir still going side by side through 3 and now into 4. The Red Bull's going to be up the inside, goes a little bit deep, but he's able to block pass him and keep the position for the time being. Now, Serial Killer, Jordan JT, the Aston Martin up the inside, so Serial Killer not showing any signs of damage after that contact with the wall. But Ben Scott has found himself into a really nice position here. 12.5 seconds behind Jordan, 2 seconds in front of Jamie Matt. And that's really just going to show T-Brum that he can pit whenever. He's not really going to be in traffic. The same for Harry Noir and Saronje. They're going to have even more clean air than anybody would in front of them if they were to pit right now. Energetic has left the session after retiring. Evil Dragon, him and Evil Dragon being our only 2 casualties from this race. Jess has pitted from her soft tires, as we've had no safety car yet, so she had to take the plunge. She started on sauce hoping for an early safety car, but at the end of the day, it did not help her out. Or the game did not help her out. Saronje and Harry Noir and Saronje. The Red Bull is leading the Alpine with less DRS, and the Alpine's going to have DRS, but I imagine he's just going to go over to the right-hand side. But no, he swaps over back to the left, a little bit of wheel banging between the Alpine and the Red Bull. Are they going to head into the pits? Neither of them into the pit lane, and the Alpine driver is just going to take the position. So Ben Scott now, his hard tires are going to be slightly warmed up. They're going to be slightly warmer than what they were just a few seconds ago. And now he's beginning to gain on all the guys in front of him. So let's see how those hard tires will pan out. How will he be able to close anything on T-Brum? Now, Harry Noir and Saronje going to battle once again. Part 2 on this lap into turn 3. The Red Bull's up the inside. The Alpine can't do anything. And he'll have to concede the position once again for Saronje. So if he just waited, he might have been able to cap off that overtake, but unable to do anything as iConnect does the fastest lap of the race on a fresh set of hards. 3 laps old for iConnect. So he's showing some pretty decent paces. You have yellow flags, and that's Ben Scott! Oh no, Ben Scott has crashed on the outside of turn 3 there, and it's going to be only a virtual safety car, so that doesn't change too much, but if it does stay out long enough, that'll mean T-Brum will get a free pit stop, and he could easily pull clear of Harry Noir and Saronje. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think even if he pits, unless the guys behind him pit as well, he'll be in traffic. So, T-Brum comfortably leading this race. He'll be into the pit lane for a set of hard tires. This is about when the pit window is perfect for the hard tires. Harry Noir and Saronje, both of them will be in. That's the smart decision. Actually, Saronje stays out. Not sure why he's done that, because he's just going to lose time by not pitting here. Same for Poldy Poles. Stays out on his mediums. Damon doesn't pit either. He's going to be out just in front of T-Brum, so that is not going to help T-Brum. He will probably just be able to fly past as VSC is retracted and will be underway here in Azerbaijan again. So T-Brum, Harry Noir, Ecos, Matt, Serial Killer, Jordan, all are going to have to wait for those hard tires to warm up. Meanwhile, Jay Hings has his fired up, but he's not going to be anywhere near people who have just pit because of that virtual safety car. So let's ride on board with T-Brum now. He's in a little bit of traffic. He has a Damon a second up the road. Damon has Poldy Poles 2 seconds up the road, and Poldy Poles has Saronje 2.8 seconds up the road. So a little bit of traffic, but all spread out, which is the best that T-Brum could have asked for. As Saronje, oh no, bangs the wall out of turn 7 and finds himself backwards in between turn 7 and 8, and that's not what you want to see. He should have pit under that safety. If he pit under that virtual safety car, that doesn't happen. Same thing for Damon, finds himself backwards out of turn 12. So those medium tires, as you can see already, not coping too well. Poldy Poles, and yeah, Poldy Poles is the only driver to stay out this long on medium, besides Ibo, who is in last. Saronje's out now. And that's a full safety car, so, okay. So the damage that Saronje picked up from his spin at turn 7 has caused him to crash, but now Poldy Poles is going to get a free pit stop, completely free. He's going to lose the one position which he would have lost the T-Brum anyways. Damon will have to pit because I think he has damage, and Harry Noir is, well, is going to stay out because he just took the hard save for Serial Killer match, but I think Poldy Poles is going to be up in the P5. Just getting his tire swap now. Damon will be heading down the pit lane to get a wing change and a new set of hards. Damon will probably be out behind Jordan, I'd imagine, with his front wing change. Poldy Poles up to P3. That's what you like to see, and getting lucky with the strategy there. There's Ferrari in. That'll be Jamie Met from their hards. And just as I predicted, Damon out behind the Mercedes Jordan, out in front of the AlphaTauri of Jay Hing. So this is really just the perfect time for the hard runners, or for the guys, for the people who started on the mediums and the softs at the beginning of this race, to come in, fit a set of hard tires, and go to the end of the race. So if anything, these guys are kind of lucky. I'm sure they could use one more safety car just to keep it light on the tire wear, but I don't think they'll have to worry too much about that. So now we'll go through our running order as we have T-Brum leading, followed by Harry Noir, Poldy Poles, Serial Killer, and E-Cost Mats, all on hards. Jordan on hards as well as Damon, and then Jay Hing and Iconex are on 5-lap old hards, so a little bit older. They might just make it to the end of the race. And then below that, only one person is on hards, and that is Jess Gamer in 14th. However, the people splitting her from the rest of the hard pack is Jamie Met, Connor O'Keefe, and Marcy, as well as Esteban. The first and the last being on fresh hards, and the two in the middle in Connor O'Keefe and Marcy being on very old mediums. And then down at the back, we have Swip on mediums and Ibo on hards. It is lap 11. Here of 26, and we have Saronje, Benska, Energetics, Evil Dragon all out of this race, and they will not be finishing here tonight. Well, with the safety car here in Division 5, we can take a quick look at Division 2. They are also under safety car, which is interesting. So they are on lap 17. Their retirees so far are Renz, IRT Renz, Evans, Joshua, Licks, More Games, and Timon. But we do have an unlikely leader in Ariel Felipe on 4-lap old hards, followed by Rick on fresh mediums, Bunty on fresh hards, and then Coxie on fresh mediums, and then Luke Taupe on fresh softs, Rizify on 6-lap old hards with a time penalty, QVR Killer on fresh softs, Rex on 4-lap old mediums, and then Larkin RJW videos on softs / fresh softs as well. As surprised Miami didn't pick, to be honest, for softs. As Jumandary have picked both for fresh softs as well. So looking a little spicy in Division 2. We have fresh softs coming through the field that will most likely die at the end of this race, or at the end of their race, because they should be getting going on lap 19. We'll be getting going here on lap 14. So not next lap, not this coming lap, the lap after that, I believe, because this is only the second lap behind the safety car, and because aren't catching either way. Just wait and see. Yeah, don't think so. So yeah, Division 2 is going to be very, very interesting as they get down to the end of this race. Kevin still begging for Connor to do well in this race, being Connor O'Keefe. As we just wait for the safety car to make its rounds. The safety car will be in on this next lap, so we can get started and get racing, green flag racing once again on lap 14. That means the DRS will be enabled at the beginning of lap 16 for every driver who's within a second of the driver in front of them. But as it stands in the championship battle, T-Brum is taking home another 25 points. With Harry Noir right behind him, the standings could get very interesting because right now, obviously T-Brum on 185, he'll hit over 200 points with this race as long as he finishes, or he'll hit 200 points as long as he finishes third or higher in this race. Connor O'Keefe is on 128, and Harry Noir on 109. So, only being 19 points behind. As of right now, Harry Noir is putting himself 2 points behind, I believe. If he's scoring 18, -2 for Connor O'Keefe there. 16 points. So, putting himself only 3 points behind second place in the championship. I believe Connor O'Keefe will get higher up in this race, even though he will have to pit again because his tires are absolutely shattered. Same with Marcy. But Harry Noir can get to the end of this race and can comfortably secure second, I do think. So, should be interesting to see what will happen here in Division 4 as Division 2 is racing once again on lap number 19 with Ariel Felipe leading Rick, Bunty, Coxie, and Luke, and the guys in the softs already beginning to make moves. Not on people around them, just or not the people who are not on softs, just the people who are also on softs. So infighting amongst the soft runners in Division 2, not what you want to see if you are a soft runner, but Luke leads the soft train just behind Coxie. Coxie is a very formidable opponent. As I say that, Luke has been topped around at turn 7. So, I will no longer talk about Division 2 because I am already jinxing people. But the safety car here in Division 4 is going to be in on this lap, and we can get racing once again on lap 14. I'd imagine T-Brum will wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. To get this race started, just because there is the slight chance that Harry Noir could get slipstream and make his way past the Mercedes, even though I very much doubt that'll happen. But you never know what can happen to the best. Let's see where T-Brum will go, and T-Brum goes just before turn 20 there. Now we'll have people streaming down towards turn 1, all single file. I connected. J-Hing's getting very close together. J-Hing's using his ERS. I connect, refraining from doing so. But we have a move down for P10, second place in the championship, trying to keep his championship hopes alive as Connor O'Keefe into turn 1 will make his way past Jamie. Met a little bit of contact between the Mercedes, or between the McLaren and the Ferrari, and Jamie met Ghost. Marcy trying to make his move as well, but Connor O'Keefe up to P10. Now I connect, and J-Hing's going side by side. J-Hing's with a little bit of ghosting there out of turn 2, and I connect is going to be up into P8, but they've lost a ton of time, 1.9 seconds to be exact, to Damon up in front of them. No changes up at the front, 7th and above. A little bit boring up there, but those are all the guys that are on fresh hard. I connect, J-Hing, Connor O'Keefe, Marcy, 8 laps or older on their tires, 2 being hards, 2 being mediums. So let's see what these guys can do. J-Hing makes a little bit of a mistake. Connor O'Keefe into turn 7. He's gonna be up the inside. He's side by side going into the corner, and I think he's gonna get that one done. J-Hings will just have to back out because I'm sure he doesn't want to be involved in incident so far through this race. He made it halfway without one so far, or notable anyway, a notable one. Anyways, and he's going to be down to 10 with Marcy on his tracks now. Also, Jamie Met, Estimate, Swift, all on fresh, medium behind him. Let's look up at the front. T-Brum leads by 1.3 seconds. He's pulled that gap in just the lap. A little bit of a mistake off of turn 16 there. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. It cost him 3/4 maybe. As he come down the straight, Harry Noir has to use a little bit of ERS to try and stay with him. T-Brum using his to counter as well. He's going to be down to 50 and below. He's going to be down to 49%. And Harry Noir used all of his ERS beginning straight, kept that momentum, and now he was within DRS range for just a few seconds. He cost Madsen to P4, Serial Killer down to P5. And there have been quite a few overtakes. Ooh, who is that? That's Jordan and Damon going side by side into turn 1. Jordan forced out onto the runoff. Didn't have to make a 3-point turn. But, going down the runway just a little bit. trying to get to France for Fashion Week as Ibo has spun, but yeah, Jordan MP7 still. Damon making the move. Didn't quite see what happened there, but he's up to 6 now, and that is, I'm sure, what he would very much like, only having 50 points to his name from 1 point scoring result. I connect with P8, followed by Connor O'Keefe, Jay King, and then Barson for the second, and Davey Matt is 8 tenths of a second from Esteban, who's 8 seconds clear, or 8 tenths of a second clear. Swip, who's a second clear, or 4.2 seconds clear. Jess, who's 11.1 seconds clear. Available, so quite a few decent stretches down towards the back of the grid. Damon, though, looking for a possible move on Serial Killer 989 once we come to the back straight into turn 12. Here we go, 2 of the S's, Damon and Serial Killer getting very close together. Ooh, a little bit of contact between the two. Damon and Serial Killer making contact as they run down the straight. iConnect's trying to get involved with this as well, as T-Brum says the fastest lap of the race at 1:43.6. Didn't quite catch the other two numbers, but McLaren. There is a McLaren into the top 5, and it's not the McLaren that you would have expected after the last few weeks, because this McLaren usually keeps on crashing. However, he is in P5 for the time being. Connor O'Keefe is in P8, so it looks like it's going to be a very good day for the McLaren team. Ooh, that's a has up the inside, and that's contact, and that's three-way contact. That's iConnect sending it from behind Serial Killer. It takes himself and Serial Killer out of this race, probably gives both of them damage as he drives into the wall multiple times. And now Damon is far and away clear from the rest of those drivers, but Connor O'Keefe now is going to be on his case. His McLaren teammate as well, just in behind Jordan there. That's so unfortunate there for Serial Killer. He was having a decent race for himself, and then iConnect sends it well up the inside. No chance he's ever getting that moved, and even getting side by side with him. And there was a little bit of contact as well. He had no chance at all. But we move on. So on lap 17 here for division number 4, CPI T-Brum still leads. As we have yellow flag. Who was that? iConnect, who's had another mistake in this race. Spun around at turn 1 on his 11th lap. All hard, but going back to the important people, CPI T-Brum up the front leads by 2.5 seconds. Harry Noir, who leads Poldy by a second and a half, who leads Cosmats by 3.7 seconds, who leads Damon by 2 seconds, who has his teammate very close, and so as Marcy is the first one to pick up 2 second time penalty in this race, and he is down in 13th. As we have yellow flags once again, I believe that'll just be Ibo. Yes, it is just Ibo. But let's watch on board with Connor O'Keefe and Damon. Obviously teammates, so they won't be wanting to fight too hard, but Connor O'Keefe is going to have to pit again sometime soon because his medium tires are 11 laps old, and I'm sure they have not seen their best in a long time. As George JT is behind the screen by 2.2 seconds. Damon moves over the right-hand side. Ooh, Connor O'Keefe dives it up the inside. Damon just trying not to fight it, but Connor O'Keefe will squeeze him into the wall and almost absolutely destroys his teammate. He's lucky Damon was able to get out of that one. Otherwise, the two McLaren boys would have had a stern talking to there from Zach Brown. But they keep it alive, and Connor O'Keefe will drive off into the sunset, hopefully for his race anyways, because he needs to make one more pit stop, or he just waits for safety car. Either way. But Jordan JT, 8 lap old apart. Jenkins, 12 lap old hard, so 4 lap is the difference between these two. Esteban, a 12 lap old hard. And then we have Swift, J-Med, Jeff, all on mediums, Marcy on hards, and then Serial Killer on mediums. Ooh, and I think we just caught that. That was iConnect crashing into pit lane. Yeah, that is, that's the thing. iConnect just crashed into pit lane all by himself. Absolutely lovely. But yeah, so just looking up at the front, multiple Terry Noir, Sebrum all streaking away from the rest of this field, really. Ecos Matt not necessarily streaking away, but Connor O'Keefe is trying to close him down. Damon trying to stick with his teammate, and as I say that, Connor O'Keefe spins around out of turn 16, and I'm sure he's going to be absolutely finished with those medium content of tires. Jordan, P6 now. After Connor O'Keefe spin through. Ooh, who is that? Is that Esteban? As we have. Oh! What is T-Brum doing in the pits? T-Brum! He's destroyed his front wing from the lead of this race. All he needed to do was keep it out of the wall, and he would win this race easily. He was winning this race easily. He's down to P11 now. Oh no. Championship leader has a blunder. And now, Harry Noir, as it stands right now, I believe will move into the second in the championship. Hold on, let me do some math. So 19 points minus 25. So that'll be 6 points. And Connor O'Keefe is scoring 5 right now. So yeah, Harry Noir will move into second in the championship by 1 point as it stands right now. So Connor O'Keefe, after his spin now, needs to salvage as many points and places as possible as he makes up 1 place. So that'll be him even now, but he still has to make a pit stop because there's absolutely no way mediums are going to make it this long in this race. There's no way mediums go almost 20 laps here for Connor O'Keefe. Maybe he fails in the hard, but he's not in the hard, so there's no chance at all. But Harry Noir is now leading this race by 2 pole poles by 2 seconds. Ecos Matt's 6 seconds behind the Haas. Damon a second behind Ecos Matt's. He's doing pretty well to close down the Alfa Romeo, both of them being on pretty equal tire wear. Let's see what T-Brum is up to. He is warming up his medium tires. He's got them up to a drivable range now, using ZRS as well. He's all the way down at P11. When was the last time he won a race? It must have been 4 races ago. If I can pull up the Google, that is. So the last time he did not win a race was Britain, when I believe he got spun around. And before that, it was, well, the only race he hasn't finished on the podium this season was the first of the 2 USA races, which was, I believe, Circuit of the Americas, I want to say, and he had a DNF. As T-Brum is into the pits again. Oh no. Is it for a front wing? It can't be a front wing, can it? No, he's just pitting for softs. Wow, T-Brum is going to be out of the points. No, he won't. Because Marcy decided to pit and keep him inside the points for just for a little bit as Justin will go past, but I'm sure T-Brum will be quickly past her as Damon and Ecos Matt's now going side by side. Oh, Damon up into the podium position now as well. So this is going to be a good result for him as well if he can keep this position. Swip and J Hanks going side by side. The Williams and the Alpha Tauri, and they were able to keep it clean. I'm not really sure how they did that, but J Hanks up to 8th. Good driving from both of them there to keep it clean through that section. Connor O'Keefe is caught up to Esteban, who is 1.4 seconds behind Jordan, who is 2.7 seconds behind Mats, who was overtaken by Damon this lap, but is now 2 seconds behind the McLaren, which is very interesting. But guess we could watch on board with T-Rim, because there's not really too much else going on besides Esteban trying to keep Connor O'Keefe behind. I guess we can watch that. Going into turn 16 now, the McLaren getting very, very close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. T-Rim behind Jess. As T-Rim overtakes Jess, I think Jess will probably just slide through, because we all know he is quite a bit quicker than the rest of this grid. Sup and J-King swap positions, Connor O'Keefe and Esteban. Connor O'Keefe trying to get close, but failing to do so with a lack of ERS and a lack of straight line speed as well. But Esteban also having a decent amount of ERS to try and defend this position from the McLaren driver. As long as he can latch onto the back of Jordan's DRS, I think Esteban will be fine, but he's dropping and losing time as it seems right now. He pulls out, looks for his braking zone, and decides not to make the move. So besides this battle, there is nobody within DRS besides J. Hings and Swift. J. Hings is dropping very quickly, as Swift is 10 lap old mediums, J. Hings is 15 lap old hard. So the only battle within DRS range is about to be Connor O'Keefe and Esteban. And just as I say that, Connor O'Keefe is now out of DRS range because he made a mistake, and he also is going to have to hit. So I'm not understanding why he's still out here. I guess just waiting for a safety car, or just trying to nurse these tires to the end of the race. But we shall wait and see. Oh! Connor O'Keefe making the mistake. Into turn 15. Just locks it all up. Goes straight on into the barrier. Front wing absolutely demolished there for the McLaren driver. Oh, he's absolutely bottled a decent result here. He has no front wing. He has to pit no matter what now. Ooh, that was very close. But oh no, Connor O'Keefe down to P10. He's going to have to pit. He's not going to be, well, he'll be in the top 12 as Swift is in now as well. So Jamie Met will move up a few places. Serial Killer. T-Bone will be up to 10th now. Actually, 11. Make that 9th. So he's gaining the positions back up. But Aaron Noir is still closing as T-Bone says the fastest lap of the race at 1:41.941. A decent lap there. Didn't have much ERS to use if I'm correct in saying that, but yeah. As Division 2 has finished. Kirk won, followed by Felipe, followed by QBR Killer. So I think a result for the fans there here in Division 2's race at Azerbaijan. So as my audio is getting absolutely demolished. But we shall see. After all the mistakes and all the crashes now, there aren't too many people within DRS range of each other. Natural pace just splitting up the field as J. Hings is out! That's out of turn 19. Is that going to be a safety car? Or is it, well, it's not too late for a safety car. CPI T-Brim just arriving on the scene. I think Jason was too far out of the way. Oh no, boom. My internet is going to absolutely shit. Through, Jason's car is removed. And no safety car. Boo, 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 boo game. But it looks like Harry Noir is going to be on here for his third race victory of the season. How's that? Wait, hold on. How's that possible? Yeah, it looks like he's going to be on for his third race victory. Or his second race victory. Yeah, yeah. Second race victory of the season. He leads with 3 and a bit laps to go. Poldypool's actually kind of closing him down. However, Harry gets all the ERS that he could ever really need. Damon trying to just hold on to this P3 because Matt's not close enough to challenge him unless there are major mistakes to be made. Jordan, Esteban, Jamie all have their positions quite secure. T-Brum 5.7 seconds behind Jamie. Might just be able to close. He doesn't have a lot of ERS to do so with, and not a lot of time either. But oh, never mind. Just a ball. However, that could be a safety car. I don't think it will be though. But yeah. Harry Noir still leads this race. Marcy and Serial Killer, the two Aston Martins, are getting quite close together, so we'll see how that will pan out as my internet once again still not doing good things. Hi, how can I join this? IRFR_I Gabri. Hello. If you have a Twitter account, message the Twitter account. It'll be at League of Europe F1, I believe. And they'll get you sorted very nicely. If you want to know more about the league, so basic things, 4 tiers on the Saturday, 2 races at 6:30 UK. That'll be divisions 1 and 3, and then another 2 races at 8:10, 10 past 8, for divisions 2 and 4. Of course, you're watching division 4 right now. Division 2 is already finished up with their race. We had a few delays going into this one. But yeah, go to the Twitter account, give them a quick DM, and they'll get you sorted. But yeah, just waiting for some things to happen as we are on the penultimate lap now with Harry Noir and Poldypool's our race leader after T-Brum's slight blunder and making 2 pit stops. He probably still could have been in the top 5 if he didn't have to make that second pit stop, but now T-Brum going on to the penultimate lap of the race. I'd imagine he'll be able to get past Jamie Matt depending on how much ERS Jamie Matt has. Jamie Matt has 90%. Why aren't you burning, dog? Like, you have 2 laps to use all of it. Now T-Brum has DRS. You could defend if you wanted to, but he's not. T-Brum, Jamie Matt not using any of his ERS. T-Brum will use all of the nothing that he has, and we use his ERS just to pass Jamie Matt. Could have defended that position. T-Brum moves over a little bit, but I think it's fair enough. But yeah, so T-Brum up to 7th now, as we're still we're on the penultimate lap. So we're coming up through all these corners for the second to last time. And here we go. Yeah, Poldypool is getting very close on the final, or going on to the final lap here. Harry Noir will use his ERS, will do his best to try and keep this race victory for himself and move himself up into 2nd place easily now into the championship for Red Bull. As we have a yellow flag, oh, it's Connor O'Keefe. His day just keeps getting worse and worse for him. He's down to P11 he'll get probably, unless he has damage because of that penalty. But on the final lap here, in Azerbaijan, not quite the chaos fest that I was expecting, as Connor O'Keefe almost hit the wall again. Just going past him there after being ghosted, but not the chaos fest that I was expecting here from Division 4, but only the 1 safety car, and then everybody kind of just split up strategies, melted into one, really. Everybody making their pit stops, and not too much happened. But yeah, Harry Noir looks like he's going to win this race, his 2nd of the season, I do believe. Poles should finish second. Damon should finish third, so he'll pick up his second point score of the season. And holy Jesus Christ, Marcy, that was never gonna work. And hits the wall and spins into the wall. Perfect. But yeah, I don't really know what to say, to be honest, for Division 4. It was kind of quite a calm race. But yeah, Damon picking up his second points finish of the season, and also his second third place of the season. He cost Matt picking up a decent result as well. Or he cost Matt the championship. If I could use my eyeball, he cost Matt 19. So picking up another 12 points, he'll be up to 30, which will put him near enough to the top 15. As Harry Noir will weave to the line. Poles used all his ear ass, just couldn't quite get close enough, but he'll watch in horror as Harry Noir wins, just for him to come second from that race. That was his time to put himself. This is what he should have been doing last week, but that very early mistake from the Haas driver cost him good points. DNF, or only picking up 1 point last week. But the 18 he picked up tonight will be a good will be good for him in this championship fight. Damon will pick up third place. Matt will finish in fourth, followed by Jordan and T-Brum. How did finish in front of Esmond? I don't know. Anyways, as Marcy somehow finished. Anyways. So Jordan and T-Brum will take home a 5-6 for Mercedes. Not a horrible day. 18 points to their name. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Esteban in P7. Another good result for Alfa Romeo. I was lagging my cheeks off. Jamie Met in 8th for Ferrari. Swip in 9th for Williams. 2 more points to their name, or 4 more points to their name. Serial Killer in 10th, and I think I believe it. I want to say it was Jess and Serial Killer. Yep, Serial Killer. Esteban driver of the day. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Twitter decides will be the driver of the day. And here we go. Harry Noir walking out of the tunnel onto the podium. They will claim his race victory crown for the second time this season. A good result for him, Poles and Damon as well. But, yeah, so Harry Noir wins, followed by Poles and Damon. Damon getting a nod probably for driver of the day, up in third from 14th. A good result for him. Kept the mistakes not at the racetrack today. Matt Jordan T-Brum takes on passes lap. He'll pick up 9 points. Esteban in 7th, followed by Jamie Matt Swip, Serial Killer, Connor O'Keefe will drop to 3rd in the championship, followed by Jess, and then drivers who did finish. Out of the points was only Marcy, and then the drivers who did not finish. We had a full grid of 20 tonight, but it's thinned down to just 13 with Jay Hings, Ibo, iConnects, Saron J, Ben Scott, Energetics, and Evil Dragon all not finishing. Evil Dragon not even finishing the first lap after 2 podiums in a row. But yeah, that is going to be it for Division 4. I have things to attend to. I have to sell some stuff. So I will be unable to do interviews tonight. So yeah, congratulations to everybody. Harry Noir, Poles, Damon. I'm picking up podiums and a win in Harry Noir's case once again. But we will see you next time. As I already said just a few laps ago, tune in once again for the Belgian Grand Prix for Divisions 1 and 3 at 6:30 UK time, and for Divisions 2 and 4, 8:10 for their 12th round of the championship. We'll look forward to seeing you there once again, but for now, it's been me, QVR Packer, and we'll see you next time.